Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. This video is about an examination called MICAT, whose last date to apply is tomorrow. Not many people know about this examination, and especially you will not find much content about this examination. So I have created this video to tell you about the examination, how it is, what is the examination pattern, what is the selection criteria, etc. So if you are targeting this examination, please do watch this video. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe to the channel for authentic content on MBA preparation. Now, if you have not appeared on this examination and are going to appear for this examination, let me tell you that this examination is way too difficult. Sometimes you will find people saying कि अच्छा कौन सा exam है easily हो जाएगा. Not the case. It is way more difficult than any other MBA entrance examination. Okay, so even if you take CAT, ZAT, it is much more difficult than these exams. I will show you my scorecard and then you will get to know, okay, it really is. And still, if you do not believe it, write it on 2nd of December and then you will realize that yes, it is the most difficult MBA entrance examination. Okay, what makes it difficult is not only the length of the questions but also 8 options in many of the questions. So many questions in, if let's say in an RZ, if you have 8 options, it becomes very difficult to eliminate them. So that is the reason it is the most difficult exam. So I appeared, so it is conducted twice in a year, MyCat 1, MyCat 2. So you can write one or both of them, it does not matter. Okay, so I appeared on both these examinations and I have scored, like if you can see this, it is 16 plus 5, 21 marks out of 70 in my cat 1, and most of the students who qualify are around 10. Okay, and I have not seen many of the students scoring above 15, so possibly I could be one of the top scorers in this examination. Okay, so quant I was the top scorer, 9.5. Okay, and you can see that 20 marks, and like out of this 20, no one has gone beyond 10 9.5 in quant. So overall I had a score of 21, which is very very high. Okay, students usually score 10, 12 marks or so, 15 at max. I have heard from students, I don't know about all people writing the examination, but I'm assuming that I scored fairly well on this. Okay, and then I appeared on MyCat 2 as well, and this time I had a score of 12, 15 and 7, 22.75 out of 70. Okay, so this I believe is a very high score. Like if you score this much, then you are almost in. Okay, and again in this case also I scored 7.5 in quantity. I still am the topper. So this shows the difficulty level of the examination. Even if a person is attempting quant, okay, will not be able to score very high on this. Okay, so it's a very difficult examination, quite tough to crack. So let me discuss what is the structure of this examination. Should you write MyCat 1 or MyCat 2? Now this is the schedule of this examination for this year, and the registration is going to end tomorrow, and extension, okay, so it seems they have given the extension also till November 22. Okay, so you can register for this, and the examination will be conducted on December 2nd, 2023. Now there is MyCat 2 also. So it does not matter whether you write MyCat 1 or 2 or both, they consider the best of the scores. Okay, so I would recommend that if you are targeting this, most of the aspirants would write MyCat 2. Firstly, they do not have awareness of about the examination. Second thing is, many students wait कि अच्छा CAT अच्छा हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, then decide करते हैं. Okay, MyCat 2 is conducted. It is going to be held on 27th of January, and the registration is till 16th of January. So this means that by that time you would be done with CAT, SNAP, if you're writing NMAT, ZAT, etc. So then you will have an idea कि चलो ये सारे exam अच्छे नहीं हुए, let us target MyCat. So that is why most of the students write MyCat 2. There will be few who would be writing MyCat 1 as well. Now I would recommend, if you've not yet prepared for this examination or are thinking of writing, I would recommend ki write MICAT 2. By that time, your preparation would be good. If you have already filled the form, then good, go ahead and write. But MICAT 2, writing MICAT 2 gives you an advantage because like people like me who would be writing the examination would be giving the exam analysis, and also you will be better prepared for the examination. Okay, so just an advice from my side. Still, if you have already filled the form, you can go ahead and write MICAT 1. But I would recommend that write MICAT 2 because the examination level is more or less the same, and you have more time to prepare, and you have a clear picture in mind that whether you are what has happened in different MBA examinations that you have appeared on. Now, what is the selection criteria for this examination? You have to, apart from MICAT, you have to appear in any of these three examinations, which is mandatory. Either CAT, ZAT, GMAT. Okay, CAT 2023, ZAT 2024, or GMAT 2022 onwards. And each of them, they have certain percentile or scoring mechanism based on which they pick a certain cutoff and give a weight to these exams. Okay, so you can write any of these three examinations, but it is mandatory to write one of these. If you write multiple exams, let us say most Indian MBA entrance people would be writing CAT and ZAT. So you can enter both your scores. They will pick the better or best of the three. Okay, they will always pick the better score out of them. Okay, then the examination consists of three sections. One is psychometric test, another is descriptive, and the third is aptitude. I will show that in detail. So psychometric test is first checked. Okay, and this is a qualifier section. If you do not qualify the psychometric test, you will not be shortlisted. So it is very important to qualify the psychometric test. Okay, I will create a video on how to tackle the psychometric test. You do not need to worry about it. Just go ahead and appear on this. Then there is a cutoff in the above exams, okay, which is not disclosed. Okay, so don't need to worry about this. Around 80-85 percentile, if you have won these examinations, that should be good enough to clear the cutoff. Plus there is cutoff in the descriptive test and aptitude section of MICAT, which again is not disclosed. Okay, so they just give that what is the score you have. Generally in aptitude section there is a saying, I don't know whether it is true or false, that you should have a positive score in all the sections. Okay, so it's a composite score which only they know how they have calculated. So just try to maximize your score in the exam. The G and PI shortlist is prepared on composite score. So it gives 50% weight to CAT, ZAT or GMAT score and 50% to MICAT scores. Okay, so 50-50 weight. What is how they calculate the composite score, that we do not know. 50% weight to CAT, ZAT or GMAT score. So let us say if you have very high score in these exams, then even average score will help you. But if you have average score here, you need to have good score in MICAT. So that is the thing here. Then once you have written these, and then like you are shortlisted for GDPI, after that also these exams have weight. So for the final selection, 20% weight to CAT or GMAT or ZAT, MICAT 30%, GE 20 and PI 30%. So that is the final selection. This is for PI shortlist. Okay, G group activity and PI shortlist, and this is for final selection. So this is the selection criteria. You should know that your CAT ZAT scores are also going to matter, and it is mandatory to appear on this examination. So if you are thinking कि मैं खाली MICAT देता हूँ, that will not suffice. You have to appear on these exams also and do fairly decent in these exams. Now let's talk about the exam structure so that you understand what all is asked and how do you going to tackle this. So first is a psychometric test which has 150 questions to be attempted in 30 minutes. I will create a separate video on what is psychometric test and how to tackle it. Then there is a descriptive test which has 4 questions and it needs to be done in 25 minutes. You have to type in the answers. Okay, you do not have to write, you have to type using a keyboard, right? And then there is an aptitude test which consists of 4 subsections. The aptitude test consists of 70 questions to be done in 70 minutes. Now 20 questions are from verbal ability, 20 questions quant and DI, 10 general awareness and 20 divergent and convergent thinking. So it requires reasoning. It is not typical logical reasoning, it has some other kind of questions as well. I will explain in detail in the coming slides what are the exact topics that are tested in this section. So you have the paper of 135 minutes, total 224 questions. So this psychometric test is a different ball game. I'll create a separate video for it explaining what it is. But it is important to clear this. It is a qualifying section. So that is the first thing they check. So if you do not qualify the psychometric test, your scores will not be used for evaluation. Then psychometric test consists of two kind of questions. One has ordinal options. They will give you a statement and they say that you totally agree, strongly agree, okay, somewhat agree, those kind of questions. So last year they were out of 150, you have 118, 118, 120, those questions, and then you have binary options which are true and false. Okay, so in each question you will be presented a case. They will ask you a question related to personality, like are you a team worker? Okay, you get excited when you get a project, okay, or they will ask some things related to that and you have to answer accordingly. I will create a video in which I will explain what kind of questions do they ask and how you should answer to clear this test. There is nothing right or wrong in this. Okay, you can be anything, anything is considered right or wrong, just that you need to maintain consistency. So it has 150 questions in 30 minutes. So you do not have time to think, you just have to just mark the answers very quick. Then there is a descriptive test. In descriptive tests, there is an essay topic given in which they ask you have to write 3 points for this topic, 3 points against this topic, and 3 points on a question related to the topic. Okay, so three questions related to the essay topic, and then there's a picture perception test in which you are shown four images, and those are very cryptic images. Okay, so you won't be able to see them clearly. If someone has appeared for these military exams wherein they test or that picture perception, they show you in SSB, they show, right? So that kind of thing is there. They give you some random four images. Okay, it could be anything. One could be a truck, one could be a person carrying water, okay, one could be let's say some bowl of fruits. So any random four images, you have to connect those images to build a story. So you have to write a story, you should include all four images in that. So that checks your creativity. Now you should know that MICA is an institute which is considered as the best institute for marketing management. Okay, if you talk about marketing communications, if you wish to go into the field of brand management, then it is considered as the mecca of marketing. So that is why they test your creativity in this test. Now talking about the aptitude section, this was the breakup last year. So there is an RC which has four questions and RC has eight options. Now you can imagine that what will be the level of the examination. The RCs are of CAT level, not easy ones, difficult to read plus difficult questions. Then there were questions on missing sentence. If you remember, CAT 2022 introduced a new kind of question which you can anticipate this year as well. A sentence, a paragraph is given and a sentence is missing, and you need to fill where will the sentence fit. So there were a couple of questions from that. Parajumbles, 5 sentence one. I think this also had 8 options. I do not recall which all questions had 8 options, but most of the questions have 8 options. Okay, then odd one out. You already know that 5 sentences given, one of them does not fit the passage. Okay, then sentence fillers, 4 blanks. So a long sentence is given, 4 blanks are given, and these are basically homonyms or those kind of words which are oftenly confused. So you have 8 options, right? So too many combinations possible. That is why it is very difficult to crack this examination. Then 2 questions on inference, one word substitution, para summary, etc. So these are the topics that are tested. Very lengthy paper, difficult paper. Out of 20, even getting a score of 4 or 5 is a very good score in this section. Now coming to the quant and DI, again it is very lengthy, very difficult. Okay, you have one DI set, chart based DI, calculation intensive. Okay, then you have 5-6 questions on arithmetic, very lengthy. like the ones that you have in ZAT. So you can compare it, call it at par with ZAT. This is ZAT में आता है ना, lengthy से question, उस तरह के questions होते हैं. So even attempting, let us say, 10 questions is a very big deal in this paper. Okay, so like even if you are able to get that, that means you are one of the toppers. Okay, so as I showed you the scorecard also, I got 7.5 and I was the topper in quant. Although my quant is very good. Okay, in other examinations, I would have scored uh, like much higher in quant. Okay, compared to this exam. So this is a very difficult paper. If you talk to last year aspirants, last year students who appeared on this examination, or the ones who are studying in MICA, then you will realize that okay, I'm not joking. It is really a very difficult examination. So in geometry mensuration, you have questions on heights and distances as well. Okay, so typical those typical trigonometry type questions, permutation, combination, probability, everything is being tested. I think they do not have much of algebra. Last year I did not encounter. So arithmetic, geometric mensuration, and modern math basically. Okay, so very lengthy calculation intensive questions. Then you have the third section, which is called divergent and convergent thinking, which you call reasoning. It has a question type called word association. So you get 5 to 6 questions on that. It is very difficult to attempt. Okay, I will show you that what word association test is. I have a few examples of it. And then critical reasoning, 2 to 3 questions. Coding, decoding. Sometimes it is easy to code. Sometimes it is very cryptic. Visual reasoning. Okay, 2 to 3 questions, again very difficult ones, very difficult to figure out. Data sufficiency, number based reasoning. Number based reasoning means some grid will be given to you, you have to fill in the numbers, or maybe some sort of number based reasoning, what I call is number series. Okay, not easy to figure out, mostly quite difficult questions. Okay, so again most of the questions have 8 options, so it becomes quite challenging too, especially like critical reasoning. Okay, these questions become very difficult when you have 8 options with you. So again all these sections are quite challenging. And when we come out talk about the general awareness section, it has 10 questions. Around 6 to 7 questions are match the following type. Match the following type, they will ask you about the CEO, match the CEO with the company. They will give you logos. One side they have the logo, another side you have the company. You have to match the logos. Then tagline based question, they will give you taglines and you have to map the company. And also like sometimes headquarters of last year they had headquarters of these UN organizations. So most of the questions are match the following, and then you have correct incorrect statement based questions, like you have the way you have in UPSC, right? So they will give you 4 statements and ask that which of the following is correct. So it will be only one and two, only one and three. Again mostly it is related to brands based. Okay, remember they are looking for brand managers. Okay, brand space, so company related questions. Let's say some company had a merger and acquisition, so related to current affairs, some news or something, or some sport, or some brand ambassador of a company, etc., etc. So most questions are brand based. Okay, so again challenging section. GK is always challenging, right? You do not know most of the things because it is only about your knowledge, right? You may have studied about 100 things, they ask something beyond it. So this is the structure of the examination. Now, talking about the good score, if you have 95 plus percentile in CAT or ZAT, a score of 8 in aptitude would be decent enough to get a call. Last year, students were getting a call in single digits also, maybe 9 and 10, 8. Some people even 7 or 8 I heard of got a call for this exam for MICA. Okay, and score of 10 in aptitude, and even if you have an average score in CAT or ZAT, you should be able to get a call. So 10 out of 70. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that it is not at all an easy examination. At this point in time you will be mocking, सोच रहे हो कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है 70 में से 10 तो आ ही जाएंगे 15 तो आ ही जाएंगे. It is not at all easy. So if you do not believe it, write it on 2nd of December, then you will realize that it is quite a challenging examination. Now here are a few samples like word association test. So for example, you are given like let's say, and they this is an example. So you have words and you need to map that where do they with which do they match. Like let's say like apple cart, so apple is related to all these words. Okay, so you have to map the words. They will give you word on the left hand side, right hand side. You have to tell that which word matches with which one. Okay, so that is the kind of question which is called word association test. And then, as I said, that it is all about brands. So they do ask a lot of questions related to brands. It can be logos, taglines, CEOs, like CEOs, chairmen, founders, etc. Mostly related to these or some products. Let us say they will ask you कि हार्पिक कौन सी कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट है और लक्स is a product of which brand. So those kind of questions they ask related to brands. Okay, and this is what descriptive test looks like they will show you four random images, right? For example, in this you see elephant in a jungle. Okay, there are people traveling in a train, okay, passing through some sort of village area, countryside, right? These two ladies are celebrating Christmas. This is fall season. Okay, so you need to connect all the four images into a story. So that is how the descriptive test looks like. So this was about MICAT. In case you are going to appear on this examination, tomorrow is the last day to apply for the exam. So I told you the kind of questions that you will get, and don't fear that even if you are not able to attempt much in the examination. Now you know in advance that it is a very difficult examination. Do not panic in the exam. It is difficult for all. So let us see if they follow the trend. For the last 2 years, they have had this that like this is going to be the level of the paper. If that remains the level, you should not panic, keeping in mind that even if you get a double digit score, you are very much safe. And also I will create a video related to psychometric test, how to tackle it during the examination. So please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel.